Calories or macros? What's up, herbivores? It is I, Simba K. Akamaru of AkamaruVeganNutrition.com, and I am your vegan nutrition coach. And what an amazing day it is to be vegan. It really is. All right, let's get into today's topic: calories versus macros. Which is best for weight loss? Now, before I get into the question, I have a question for you. If you're watching this video and you currently are using either calories or macros in order to track your weight loss progress, please comment. What do you think? Do you like counting your calories? Do you like counting your macros? And what's something that you've learned since you've been doing it? When people talk about calories versus macros, what they're discussing is a way of measuring their food in order for them to lose weight in some way. First, let's talk about calories. So calories are energy, right? The body needs energy in order to do anything. It's, when you look at the body and you break it down, it's very simple. It's energy in, energy out. When you want to lose weight, you need less energy coming in than is going out. Okay, so now we're talking about calories. So calories provides us with that energy. If we want to lose weight, we need to have less energy coming in. So when we're counting our calories, let's say we needed 2,000 calories in order just to maintain our current weight. Well, you would need less than 2,000 calories in order to find weight loss. It's very simple, right? One of the most important things is that you need to be in a caloric deficit in order to lose weight, right? So your macronutrients, we'll talk about that in a second, it's still dependent on you being in a caloric deficit. So calories are still very important. The best diet, what's the best method for you? It's gonna be the method that you can adhere to. So if counting calories is easier for you, then it makes sense that you should count calories in order to adhere to your weight loss goals. If counting macros is easier, well, then it makes sense to continue to do that for yourself. You know, as far as the amount of work that has to go into it, it is much easier just to count calories. Now, let's talk about macros. What does macros even mean, right? Macros is short for macronutrients. What does that even mean? Macronutrients are composed of four groups, right? You have proteins, which are responsible for building muscles. You have carbohydrates, which are responsible for providing your body with energy. And you also have fats, which also provide your body with a ton of energy, right? Proteins, carbs, and fats are the macronutrients. The fourth one is alcohol, but that's not very useful or important to us when it comes to our nutrition. So these are the three: proteins, carbs, and fat. That's what you're talking about when it comes to macronutrients. When you are counting your macros, you are monitoring the amount of the grams of protein, the grams of carbs, and the grams of fat that you're putting into your body for every meal for a specific amount of time, right? It may seem tedious, and it is tedious. However, once you begin to track things, you can look at a rice cake and you're like, okay, I'm looking at 35 calories, like 7 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein, 0 grams of saturated fat. You kind of just look at food and you know, right? Now that may seem tedious and a little type A, and it is, but it comes with great freedom, because once you can know the specific macronutrient profile that you need for your body to be successful in whatever your weight gain or weight loss journey is, you can then start to eat anything you want, because you're like, okay, I had a lot of fats here, I'll have less fats here. I had a lot of carbs here, I'll have less carbs. And so you begin to just, what's a good way to describe it? It's freedom. You have more food freedom, more food choices. You don't have to stress out so much about it. But it does take a lot more energy and more effort when you're first learning the process. However, tools like Excel spreadsheets and software like MyFitnessPal make it super simple to log your food and to track it. And people get stressed out about the fact that they might have to log food and track it. Oh my God, I don't want to do that every day for the rest of my life. Once you put your food in one time, it saves it. So it's super simple the second time. And two, after probably about maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, you begin to develop a muscle memory. So like in a month, 30 days, you can really start to analyze food and to see what the breakdowns are, right? Because you're seeing the same types of foods, the same food groups over and over and over. And so you become a master of your own domain, really, once you learn how to master your own macros. So I do recommend learning macros and mastering your own macros. But at the same time, it's not for everybody, and it's not for everybody right now. Counting calories is way easier, and sticking to something that you can adhere to is the most important thing. So make sure whatever method of tracking for your own personal weight loss that you choose, make sure it's something that you can adhere to. I would say if you've never done it ever before, start with counting calories, and as you gain success and as you gain confidence, try counting macros. If you just want to dive into macros, go for it, right? And here's the thing. When you track these things, you don't have to track them every day, always, for the rest of your life. A lot of times it's a good reference point to really dial in where you're at and to get you to where you want to go. So once you're able to do that, you're then able to have more freedom in the way that you track and count things. So please don't stress out and think that you're going to be chained and shackled and bound to these numbers and things like that. It does create freedom. All right, calories or macros? The answer is whichever one works best for you. They're both wonderful. Hopefully this was helpful, and until next time, as always, keep grazing.